Well, like typical, we'll start with kind of recapping what we saw after watching the tape Stanford-wise. It comes down to what I felt after the game, some of these execution of a play or two, really in all three phases. You look at, obviously, special teams who had some opportunities to make that look better and wasn't good enough. Missing 2 field goals, a couple of returns. And then, obviously, the penalty on trying to block the field goal. And so that needs to get better. Defensively, third down in the first half, there's opportunities to get them off the field. There's a couple third and extra longs there that, they convert. And it's not always that they went down and scored, but it's also just the time of possession in regards to giving us less opportunities offensively. And then offensively, protection issues in the first half, which we need to be able to block that stuff. That's not something that was brand new that we hadn't prepped for. I mean, we got to execute that better. I will say on the other side, there was a lot of good football to see watching this tape. I thought we looked as good offensively for that last quarter and a half than I've seen us. Moving the ball against a good defense, making some plays. I thought Luton had some unbelievable throws in that second half, especially the one down to Champ on the sideline against the cloud coverage. I mean, some big-time plays. AP came up huge for us. O-line blocked that run game really well. Line of scrimmage defensively. Tackles for loss, sackling quarterback. And so, again, you lose a game, you lose it by 3. It's not all stuff that's awful. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of positives there to build off of, and then we got to continue to clean up the things that cost us the game, because I think, obviously, we're getting closer. We lost those guys by 30 last year. We're getting closer, but getting close and then actually winning the game, that's another thing at hand. And so we're just talking to our guys about tightening these details up, which we need to do. And I'm confident these guys will keep on working, understanding that it's not easy to win. It's really not, which we got another opportunity this weekend. So that's kind of recapping that. I will say after the game, did run into a bunch of former players. It was awesome having those guys back. Sounded like they had a whole lot better time than I did during the game after seeing them, Coach Erickson included. So I thought that part was really, really good. But we're headed to another opportunity here with UCLA. Got a chance to go play in a big-time stadium, one that I grew up really loving, being born in Pasadena myself, and these guys are another opportunity for us to kind of show that we're continuing to progress and find a way to win the game. With that, questions?
Might as well just start with injuries. I saw Whitley got kind of carried off after the last play of the game.
Yep, he's kind of rolled up on his ankle. We'll kind of see where he goes tomorrow. We don't think it's a long-term thing, though.
Jefferson,
yep.
He was just not quite ready to go.
Well, he's a tough kid. He pushed through. He felt like he was going to be ready. We were going to find out a whole lot of information early in the game once he started carrying it. And I think he only got a couple of them. And after I think it was that third one, he just felt like I don't got it. And so, which we were obviously okay with, obviously with AP going. So we don't think it's a long-term thing. The kid tried to push to play, got to the game, won 100%, went with the other guy.
Did Moore re-aggravate his
hamstring? Yep. We think he should be UCLA if he continues to progress. He was pretty close, actually, on Saturday, the way the kid continues to work. But he just wasn't total.
I saw Tago on Saturday, and it looked like he's at least walking around. Is he anywhere?
He's progressing, yep. I wouldn't call him out right now for this weekend, but he'd really have to progress through this week to play.
Something we always hear, we've been hearing a lot about this season is, we need to learn how to win. What does that mean outside of losing close games?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, Well, to me, I think it obviously got to get it close to be able to win. And then when you get it close like we did, continue to do your responsibility when there's pressure moments. I think preparing so when that stage comes, you're ready to just react and not overthink the situation that the game's on the line type thing. And I think that's exactly how it played out for us. So, I mean, we tie the game. It goes to minute 50. We kick off, and we've been pretty solid on kickoff. We got 2 guys doing something blatantly not their responsibility just because of that moment, and we get the long return. And then the first play from scrimmage, Stanford, again, executes it really well, but we run a route that we should have coverage. We got leverage on it. We don't do our responsibilities to gain 18. And so that's how you learn to win, is just to continue to trust your preparation and do your job in the big moments.
You've talked about progressing and everything, last year to this year, game to game. I know from a fan standpoint, a lot of that becomes how much better you're getting is if you win games. But from a coaching staff, how do you guys kind of analyze that, and how good do you feel about the steps that you guys have made up to this point? Obviously, you want to be better, but can you see that? Can you relate that to the players and have them see that?
Right. I think it's important to always be looking at progression and improvement. And yeah, the ultimate one, we want to be winning games. We're not going to shy away from that. There is drastic improvement just on the defensive side. I mean, let's face it. You look at last year compared to what we're putting through 4 games. There's improvement there at really every position in the line of scrimmage, and so there's some positives and momentum with that. I think offensively, I think the thing looks dramatically different after 16 games here. I think it totally looks different. But has that turned into the win-loss we want? No. But that doesn't mean we're going to shy away from continuing to work and get us over that hump. So as a coaching staff, I appreciate our staff. I think we're working really hard. I appreciate our kids. I think they're bought in. They're continuing to play with some energy and improving. And we're confident that we stick to this approach, we'll get on the other side of the scoreboard.
AP's done so much. I know he was the starter going into last year, gets hurt. Jamar comes in. He seems like he's just played a different role and has really embraced that. How do you show what he's done, and how important has that been? Obviously Jamar gets started, but he comes in ready to go, and every time he's out there, he seems to just do his job.
Yeah, totally. I think it shows some of his leadership. He's an unselfish kid. He's not worried about being the man or the starter or the number of carries. When he's called upon, he's been ready to go. I think it says a lot about the kid because, again, you're talking about a senior who was replaced by an underclassman. He didn't ever complain about it, turn into any kind of issue. He just kept on working, and he's taken, a ton from the opportunities he's been given.
Is Jordan still your kicker?
Jordan's still the kicker, yep. I mean, that first one was 50 yards. It's downpour. I thought he actually kicked it pretty well. He's just short. And then the block's not on him. That was on the protection.
That's
Yep.
kind of what I saw, but I didn't know if that's what after you.
Another detail, we've got a guy, 3 years he started on that thing, and this one time he doesn't do his technique, and the guy runs through the gap.
This looked like the first game where the other team they had a better day on special teams. So it seemed like out of
Yeah.
that almost seemed like it was a difference in the game.
I think they had a better day on special teams. I do like our special teams. I think we've done some really good things. But, yeah, you look at the numbers just in general, field position, some critical plays. They had a better day.
A couple of offensive stats that you guys are just killing it at right now. So turnovers, you lead the country in that. Third down conversions, you're in the top 5. Now, those are 2 stats that winning teams. Those are big stats for winning teams.
Yep.
What is that? What are you missing on the offense to get some consistency?
I know.
2 halves now where you just shot yourself in the foot and didn't score.
I know. It's frustrating because I do think we're a good offense. I really do. And, yeah, we got 2 losses by 3 points, and in both those games we go silent for a half offensively. And so we're trying to get that obviously figured out. And, it is what it is. What can you do? You got to keep on working the consistency part. Some of those drive stalls, or we didn't finish with kicks that go through, so it wouldn't be like, oh, we got shut out. At least we got 3 type thing. But I do know this game's about momentum, and I think this team gets a little momentum. We're a whole lot better, and so we can create momentum offensively. We need to be able to do that in both halves.
Coach, kind of off topic here, but California passed a law today, that allows student athletes to profit from endorsements. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I did see the headline. I know I don't know all the specifics of the bill implications. I do know this has been a topic going for a while. I heard that the bill might be, 3-4 years down the road type thing, and I think things dramatically change over 3 or 4 years.
Coach, UCLA, tell us a little bit about what they like to do offensively. I know Chip's not doing the turbo stuff anymore.
Yeah, I think they're dangerous offensively. I think that quarterback creates a lot of issues with his athleticism. I do know this because I've been studying Chip's offense for a long time, so I've been watching these guys. I mean, we continue to steal a scheme or two from them. So they present some challenges. with the quarterback's athleticism, they'll play with 4 tight ends on the field, and then they'll get into some open side sets with some skill players. They got some guys that can really go. So it'll be a challenge. Some of it, I think they're working with some younger, inexperienced guys, similar to some other teams, and I know that they've got the potential to score 60 some odd points.
But in the back in 08, 09, when he kind of debuted that, and Oregon ran what they ran, and other teams started to implement it, it seems as though it's disappeared. Has it? And why do you think that is? Is it because defense is caught up, or is it because too many quarterbacks were getting injured?
No, he was definitely on cutting edge in those years in regards to the pace of play. And then I think this game's always evolving. And so, yeah, defenses catch up, and then all of a sudden, other style of play works. I know this guy knows some offense, and he's been effective doing it for a long, long time.
With UCLA's quarterback, I know he didn't practice today. How do you prep for this?
Right. Which is tough because that guy he's a special player. I don't think we'll totally know until kickoff, and that's how we're going to kind of approach it. And so we're planning for a style of play with him, and then we'll study as much as we can with the backup. I know he got a little bit of limited time against Arizona, and that's how we're going to have to go about it.
This is the first time you've taken the team down to LA, and that's always a trip where there's always a number of kids that are going back home.
Right.
What's that? I mean, you've done it with Washington, obviously. What's that trip like when you're going down to LA?
Yeah, we don't totally treat it different. We do set some time at the hotel on Friday so people can get with their families, which I think is important. You're going to go down that far to be, allow some time for those guys to catch up with one another. I do think we'll play with a bunch of emotion and energy because guys are excited to play down there.
All right, you won't like this one, but the coin toss.
We'll pass it.
You guys scored touchdowns in your first three games, the first drive out.
Yep.
Why are you deferring the goal in the second half?
Well, we're playing some better defense too, and a little bit. This was going to be a possession game. We felt going against Stanford because possessions were going to be less, and I'd like to have the added possession in the second half. Yeah.
Coach, on the Artavis Pierce touchdown run, the long one, 43 yards.
That he actually scored, not the one that he was down at that foot. Yeah.
No, the one that he scored on,
Yeah.
Although he scored on the other two, I think. But the 43-yard touchdown, how well was that blocked and executed? I mean, it just looked like a thing of beauty as it played.
Yep, O-line blocked it really well, and it was really well designed by that offensive staff because we had done a couple of same actions when we'd handed the reverse, and then we faked the reverse off that same action and completed a ball to Hodge. And the third piece of that was now actually just give it to AP and fake the around, which we caught some eyes on. It was really well executed, and AP's got some speed to be able to finish it.
I did have a question about that bill that got signed in California. Back when you were a player, did guys talk about getting paid?
I can't remember that. Of course, I can't remember a lot, or I try not to remember a lot what guys talked about when I was playing. So I can't. No, I can't remember that.
You don't recall specifically.
I don't. Yeah.
What do you think 10 years from now? What do you think college football is going to be like 10 years from now? Because things are
Right.
going to move.
Yeah, they are. Obviously, I don't exactly know. I do know that we're always looking into the student-athlete experience and making that as good as possible and providing for them. And I think we've made some huge strides in the cost of attendance and what we can give them nutrition-wise. And so I think we're always looking at ways to improve their experience with keeping the purity of college athletics,
Coach, when on defense in the second half in particular, what happened? Mills was 13 of 15 in the first half. You made him. It just seemed like the second half was a completely different story. And up front in particular, it looked like your guys were very disruptive.
Yeah, we were around the quarterback. I think that helped. I mean, they're good at the screen game. And you look at some of these completions he had on screen, whether it was slow screen to the back or bubble screen out early. We shored some of that up, I know. And, I don't think we changed our scheme at all. We were calling the same stuff, so we're just doing it a little better.
Coach, Jake is your guy. He's been giving you some good numbers, but there seems to be a pattern of it just being one half you feel he's got a game, a full game in there, and when he finally puts it together, you guys can be pretty good.
Yeah, and it's not just Jake. I mean, it's an offensive thing. I mean, Jake on the end of the half, he can't do much on a couple of those. I mean, we got to block. Jake was like, "Hey, did they blitz?" I was like, no, they blitzed the 3 technique. We didn't block the guys running right through the B gap. I mean, it's tough. So all of us offensively need to be able to play for 4 quarters. Okay.
Coach, creating turnovers this year has been a problem for the team. How do you start to create more turnovers, and how can you take advantage of a more turnover-prone UCLA team?
I think that's a huge step we can take. I agree with you of creating some more. And so that's some of it starts with, being physical tacklers. Because, again, they're not just going to give you the ball. Good offenses won't do that. Turnovers do happen when you get around the quarterback. We got to continue to do that. And then I think making some plays on the ball in the secondary, having our eyes in the right spots, because we're going to get some opportunities. But that's another step we can take is to change the game with some turnovers.